That's okay. I did pull out some full stops for my nails though. Like, all right, hello, my fellow readers. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. I'm going to be sharing with you all of the Pride books I have, like children's books. I do collect Pride children's books anywhere I go, so I'm going to share them with you. Also, excuse the makeup. It is Pride weekend here in LA when I'm filming, so, I had to pull out some crazy eyeliner. It is the bisexual flag. I don't think you can really see it on camera very well, but that's okay. I did pull out some full stops for my nails though. Like, some full stops. Anyway, let's actually get started on this. It's probably not going to be a super long video, guys, but I did want to just go ahead and share them in case you're needing any inspiration. Maybe if you have kids and maybe you want to just make sure that they are, I don't know, seeing all types of families, then maybe this is your inspiration. For the record, I just want to preface this because I feel like this is kind of like a comment I either get because people think I'm young and then they're confused, or people think like, I don't know. Anyway, to preface, I don't have any kids. One day I will have kids. My nephew is almost 19, so obviously I don't have any littles running around. Most of my friends have most of my friends either are choosing not to have kids or they have not had kids yet. I think I'm the only one in my like immediate friend group that wants to have kids. I think there's maybe, I don't know. I don't know if they want kids or not. But anyway, that's all I'm saying about this. So there's no kids, but I do keep them and collect them because one day I will be able to share them with children and it's just like a fun little thing that I get, okay? Like I get them everywhere. There are some new ones to this collection that when I was in San Francisco, I picked up at Fabuloso's books in the Castro. They do have a large selection of children's queer books and they're very hard to find. So you don't ever, I never know when I'm going to find them, but also they're a little bit harder even though I live in LA. Anyway. So let's get started. I'm just going to start at the top and then we'll go through it. So the first one is Daddy and Dada. I'm pretty sure, yeah, this is signed. I got this a few years ago during Pride. I'm not really sure, like, I don't know. Like, I'm not sure when I got it anyway. But, like, look at the little picture. So cute. But yeah, I love the artwork of this one. So it's just, yeah, I'm not going to read them to you, but definitely I'll show them and I'll open them up for you. But this is number one. I don't know. I'm like obsessed. I don't know. All right. The next one is the one I did get in San Francisco. I think I got two of them actually. Or maybe, no, I think I got some in San Francisco. Maybe, maybe not. No, I did not. I don't know where I got this. I feel like I got this recently. So anyway. I don't even know what this is called, to be honest, because it does not have the title on the front. So let me actually look for it. Oh, the ABCs of Queer History. Still don't know where I got it, but I got it recently. So it goes through the alphabet of like different like queer history, which I think is always important to share with children because I feel like oftentimes I don't know. Like queer history is really important and I think everyone should learn it whether you're queer or not. And I think for me I had to really educate myself on queer history after I came out, which was 15 years ago. So like I've been out for half my life. Anyway, but like look at this. I'm just gonna like block my face. I don't know. It's so cute. I am obsessed. They also talk about Harvey Milk. Hope will never be silent on this side. So that is definitely this book. Again, I wish I could tell you where I got it. And like the bag, it has Marsha P. Johnson, and Sylvia Rivera, which are two trans women of color back in the Stonewall era, and they fought hard to get us the rights that we have, and they don't get celebrated enough or near enough, in my opinion. So those two are there. We have the person in the wheelchair, which is always important to see. We have the dad, the little bear flag. If you're queer, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, so that's all that's on this book. All right. So this is like, we're getting into the books where I think my obsession, actually there's a few of them, where my obsession with this started. So back when I was in undergrad at Ohio State, I took a children's literature class because it was like one of the requirements and I just took it. Or it was like a GE and there was like multiple classes and I was like, I'll just take that. And we had this project at the end where we had to share books of like different like minority groups. And so I was the only one. Again, this was like in a different era and probably still the same. That nobody wanted to do queer books, and you definitely had to either rent, like borrow the books from the library or buy them. And I just bought them, and so this is where my obsession started. It was that project, and this is one of the books that I picked up during that point. I'll share the other couple, but this is The Boy Who Cried Fabulous. Again, this is like an older book. I don't even know when this was published, by the way. Let me look and see if I can find it. I may not be able to find it. No, I cannot. But anyway, I'm not like a huge fan of the artwork of this, but back in the day there was only a few a few queer children's books out at the time, so obviously it's not like there was a bunch to choose from. So, yeah. Oh gosh, this was okay, so this was actually done a long time ago. This was done in 2004. So, anyway. But yeah. So it's a little bit of an older school kind of like design, but I do still really like it in that, and I do think it has a good message. Because gender is a social construct. Alright, this next one I picked up at Fabuloso Books. So this is like one of my newer ones. This is Edie for Equality. So if you don't remember the Don't Ask, Don't Tell case that was kind of going up in and around the fight for same-sex marriage here in California, like in the Supreme Court, this is Edie Windsor, who fought for Don't Ask, Don't Tell, or like to get it overturned. And she won. So that was extremely exciting, but yes. So, oh, they have a quote from President Barack Obama. Oh, so cute. I haven't seen that before. So I haven't really looked through a lot of this just because this is my newer one. But it definitely goes through the story of Edie and her. Well, I don't think they weren't married because legally they couldn't have been. But her partner, and yeah, it just goes through that entire. Oh my god, look at the little stone wall! It just goes through the whole experience, and I, again, just think it's really important that we understand the history and we also understand what we fought for. And, oh, it's not the Don't Ask, Don't Tell, it's the Defense of Marriage Act, or DOMA. Sorry, I got that a little wrong. Sorry, queer history, my brain's a little fried. Also, have not finished my coffee today. So, just bear with me, but I really like this. I think it's really cool. Again, queer history, teaching kids from a young age is really what I will be doing with my children. So, this is that. This book I got a few prides ago, and I remember it was at Barnes and Nobles, and I don't remember what year it was. It must have been probably not last year, but the year before. I didn't really celebrate Pride last year. That's a whole other conversation. And I'll say this. Being with someone who they could potentially accept your sexuality, but they don't integrate into the community, that's not going to work. And I have learned that lesson. So that's all I'm going to say on that. Moving forward, this is Pride, the story of Harvey Milk and the rainbow flag. Of course, again, queer history, that's more my jam, and that's more what I want in my children's books because, again, I think they're important. This also has dirt on it because it's one of my older ones. But we talk about the history of the pride flag and what each color means, and also who Harvey Milk was and kind of his story. I'm not sure they talk about like what happened to Harvey Milk at the end, but yeah, like him and his little politician cell, him winning, and then we kind of. So I'm not sure they actually tell us what happened to Harvey Milk. Let me look through this real quick. But it definitely, we talk about the pride flag, how we got the pride flag, who created it, which was Gilbert Baker. Obviously, we see like the pride flag represented. Obviously, it has changed. We don't have pink in our pride anymore. Okay, so it does talk about what happened to Harvey Milk. So it does actually talk about that. I was wondering that. This is probably for like older kids, not probably like littles, but still important. It's an important part of our history to remember all the people that have come before us and the how hard it was to be queer back then. And yeah, that's what I'm going to say about this. And then this is the one I picked up this year, I believe. Yes, I got this on my birthday. So this is Proud Dog. This, like I said, I got literally this year. Um, so we have a little dog with a little rainbow collar. We have dads, and then they eventually bring home a baby, and it's about the dog trying to integrate. And I feel like it's like a very traditional like children's story about like bringing a child home. But this just has a little dog. So yeah. So it's like nothing like out of the normal. Like I feel like it's like yeah, like they are two dads in this, but like it's very normal. And that's exactly what we need it to be. All right. We only have like four more. Okay, this one I definitely picked up in the UK. I picked it up when I was on vacation in the UK a few years ago. This is My Magic Family, so it tells a story about all different types of family and what that kind of look like, but more in like a fairy, well, what that kind of look like, and then more of like a fairy tale kind of version of it. So having two moms, having two dads, having someone like all shades. It just goes through the different types of family really, and it's really cool. So that's that one. All right. Okay, next we have, these are kind of like, I don't know if I should put these together, but they're by the same authors, but it's Mommy, Mama, and Me, and Daddy, Papa, and Me. So these are again, like, I got these actually when I was doing that thing for school, actually. So I've had them for a very long time. But yeah, they just go over like the basic, like, just like it doesn't go over anything extraordinary. It's just like two moms like doing what they need for their child. So it's nothing like it's nothing out of the like ordinary or anything in my opinion. I think it's really cool. Um the artwork's really nice. So that's that one. And then the next one is actually very similar as well. So basically follows the same structure. Two dads doing things for their kiddo. Just playing make-believe, making them pie, all that kind of stuff. So exactly as it should be. All right, we're getting down to it, guys. Like I said, this video is not going to be extraordinarily long, but I did want to go through my collection. I do have a few others that are about other minority groups as well, but I didn't throw them into this just because I wanted to have this separate. But anyway, the next two are like really about gender and like how we shouldn't like put our children into a box when they're little, and how we should give them like to play with anything they want and dress however they want. Anyway, so this one is Dolls and Trucks Are for Everyone. Like I said, it is more about gender, this one. About how toys and clothes and all that doesn't really have, there should be no gender attached to it. You should be able to play with whatever. The artwork of this is really cool. I also love that we get like some disabled representation in here. And obviously we like people of color because again, very important in this conversation as well. Boys and girls and anyone who wants to create. Oh, so cute. We have the little ice skating rink. And then the next one is Bye Bye Binary. So again, these are more gender related. So it's like, it says in the beginning, it says, and then it says, baby. So again, doesn't really matter gender. This is more about gender than anything. So yeah, very exciting. All right, that is it for this video. Leave me in the comments whether you would want any of these children's books, or are you interested in children's books? I feel like I don't know what to ask for this. Anyway, this is like my little like collection and like something I just like to treasure and have. Especially for like any of my like queer friends that maybe will have children at some point in the time, probably closer than me. But anyway, with that being said, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. I will see you guys next time. Bye!